My friends, how you doing? We got the Giants versus Bucs tonight, my friends. The Manning cast. I can't wait to watch Eli Manning tonight and talk about the Giants, and hopefully they can give him a better game than what they did for him against the Rams. Even Namani Toomer came out and was like, they did not play very well. But how are my guys doing? I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks. I've been sick over and over again. It's been an absolute show. It's been a freaking show over here. And the bye week. But Andrew Thomas activated. What's going on, Steven? Airborne Cheeseburger, Phil. I know we slack in 746, but we here. Don't worry. And Blue Wave, thank God Andrew Thomas is activated. I want to talk about that. That's going to be a big portion, of what we want to talk about today. What's going on, Joshua? How you doing, my friend? Is everyone excited for tonight? Giants versus Bucs, definitely. This is kind of developed into like a weird rivalry. The Giants, I feel like the Giants have played the Bucs like 3 years in a row. Am I mistaken? They've been playing them like every freaking year?
Yeah, they play them pretty much every year now. And usually it's a good game every single time. It's pretty close. So it is kind of becoming like a pseudo rivalry. And I really like it because I do live in the Florida area. So every now and then I'm able to go to those games. Couldn't make it to this one. Tom Brady inflated the price of those tickets a mile high. I could not afford to go to this game specifically, but hopefully next time. And if for some reason the Giants and the Buccaneers, their stars cross, and we end up seeing the Giants play in Tampa in the playoffs, that I will make the money work. I will be there for that. But for this one, I'm here to do a live stream with you guys and enjoy this and rock out pregame on the live stream and hopefully listen to a good call from Eli and Peyton Manning tonight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Yuri, Bill Parcells going to be with the Mannings. That'll be really fun. That'll be interesting. Give us some insight into like how he helped turn around that franchise and all the success he had. Like what was the catalyst, right? Because like that's the big thing. Like what was the catalyst that really changed the course of a franchise from garbage and disappointing to good? I guess it's coaching, I guess it's general management, I guess it's drafting and free agency, but it's a collective of different factors. And I think the Giants have done well in some and really poorly in others, especially the mid rounds, really not doing well in that area at all. But Parrott not at right tackle, Anthony. I don't even know how to start to say how much that pisses me off. Not having Matt Peart at right tackle is so fuming. I don't understand. What is your justification, if any at all, that Matt Peart is even on the bench right now? Like, why is Nate Solder still starting if Matt Peart and Andrew Thomas are healthy? I guess maybe just interchangeable. They want to have Matt Peart, there just in case Thomas gets injured again. But then you could always just, I don't get it. I think Nate Solder could always move back, or like Matt Peart could go back to the left side. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I personally don't see any justification for this move. You know me, I'm a huge Matt Parrott fan, have been since before he was even on the New York Giants. Really like the intangible traits that he has, that long wingspan, the quick feet. Really just want to see him develop, get a chance to play, get a chance to start some games, see if he can go out there, make some noise on the field, and play good enough to become the starter. And I personally think that if he was given the opportunity to, he could win that starting spot. However, the Giants, they let him play some left tackle when Andrew Thomas was out. I thought he played some pretty decent games. No, he was not perfect by any means. To me, he looked like a rookie offensive tackle because basically he's a rookie offensive tackle. He only played 150 snaps in his rookie season. So he's still technically, in my eyes, a rookie, especially when you consider that he was a third-round pick, only played 150 snaps. Now he's getting some starting playing time finally a whole over a year later. I just think he needs to play more, needs more reps, needs more opportunities and experience to continue to develop. Unfortunately, the Giants don't see it that way. He's not going to be out there. He's not going to be developing tonight. They're going to stick with this washed-up turnstile of a right tackle and Nate Solder. But thank God Andrew Thomas is back to protect the blind side, because we know Daniel Jones's front side is not going to be protected tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And I want to give a couple more shout outs. Mike, how you doing, my friend? Josh Colin, I'm so pumped. I feel you big time. Malik saying good vibes, always good vibes. Yuri, appreciate the donation, the generous donation. Thank you so much, my friend. Judge and Solder with their New England affair. And honestly, that really is it, right? Someone else just said to me on Twitter, which makes sense. They pay Nate Solder too much to have him on the bench, right? And that logically, that makes sense. But I would also argue we're also paying freaking DeAndre Baker still. We're paying Golden Tate still. We're paying like guys that are no longer on this team plenty of money to not start or not even be on the team at all. So I don't see the difference in just benching Nate Solder and saying, let's roll with our young guys roll with Matt Pert, who's had a really good couple of weeks run blocking and has just as much potential, if not way more, as a pass blocker. Nate Solder has been so bad this year. And against the Bucs, against Shaq Barrett, I mean, we've seen Nate Solder get lifted up by one hand. I've seen him be lifted. He's probably like a 320-pound human being, right? I mean, he's got to be like 320 pounds. I mean, not even a laundromat would take him. He's so washed at this point. But I'll tell you what, he's like 320 pounds. And I saw a guy lift him with one hand and displace him and then go and sack Daniel Jones. And I'm looking at Daniel Jones like, man, I feel bad for you. I feel so bad for you because a lot of people hate you, man. A lot of people have a lot of bad things to say. But when your right tackle is getting lifted up by one hand like a little child, like he's a toddler, he's still with his binky in the corner, he's being lifted up and moved, I am like, holy crap, we have a problem. And the fact that they're not playing Matt Pert says a lot to me, right? It just says a lot to me that Joe Judge has some sort of, like you said, New England affair with Nate Solder, and I just don't get it. And, you know, let's see what other people are saying. Are you thinking of backup in case Andrew Thomas can't make the whole game? So I was thinking the same thing, Blue Wave, but why not just start Matt Pert at right tackle? And if they need him, just move him back to left tackle. Like, what's the difference? I don't really get it.
Well, here's one thing that we could point to. Giants, week 4, that's when Andrew Thomas suffered his initial injury, I believe. Week 5, he was suited up, ready to play, stood on the sideline the entire game. Could that be happening again tonight? Possibly. So maybe we will be seeing Matt Pert starting in the lineup. Maybe he is the starting left tackle and Andrew Thomas is just going to watch from the sidelines again. I really, really hope not. That would absolutely piss off this fan base, myself included. I would be very furious if that's what the Giants decided to do tonight. If Andrew Thomas is healthy, I saw the way he was moving in practice. He looks good. He looks ready. Let him play. Let him suit up. Go out there and protect Daniel Jones's blind side if he is ready and healthy enough to play. So yeah, I'm not trying to throw out those evil vibes. Sorry, Phil Snow. Really not trying to throw out evil vibes. But the Giants coaching staff, you always got to expect the unexpected with them. And when I say the unexpected, I mean the horrible coaching decisions that they continuously make on a weekly basis. So let's just hope that doesn't happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and Mike, I just had to throw up this. I think you mean he wasn't perfect, but you got to leave. You got to go. My friend, love you very much, but you got to go for that. I mean, not even my jokes are that bad sometimes, and I have some absolutely cringeworthy jokes, and Anthony can attest. Absolutely disgusting. But I had a good one before.
I can vouch for that. I can definitely.
I've been rolling with the Nate. So I've been rolling with the Nate Solder. Not even a laundromat would take him for a couple of weeks now, and I think it's hitting just right. I think people can really soak that one in. That's another one. But Michael Santiago, how you doing, my friend? Why the F is Thomas playing? Why Pert isn't in there instead of Solder? Shaking my head. I feel you. A lot of frustration going on there. But as Anthony said, it's definitely possible that they just start Matt Pert in this game and really have Andrew Thomas active, maybe as a way to throw off the Buccaneers in terms of game planning. I don't know how that would throw them off. Really, all it is you just got lucky and now you have an even worse player there. So, you know, that's kind of how I feel about it. But Tony in the color rush is genuinely not safe for work. Airborne. I feel you, bro. Those clean. I got the Saquon one and I wish I could like change it. The thing about buying jerseys, it kind of like frustrates me sometimes because you buy a jersey, then a guy leaves a couple years later, or like it's just, you know, you have like, I'm sure half you guys have like OBJ's jerseys sitting in the closet collecting dust right now.
I have like 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like everyone's got a bunch of like, what jerseys do you guys have sitting in the closet getting dust right now for players that left and stuff? If anyone on earth has a Nate Solder jersey, I think we should collectively burn it. I honestly, I cannot even imagine the poor fan, the poor soul that went out and spent like $120 on a Nate Solder jersey. Like, I mean, come on. I guess
so,
at the time,
if we're talking jerseys, here's the thing, right? Is I'm definitely going to get a Kadarius Toney jersey because no matter what happens, even if he's a total bust from here on out, never has another catch for the rest of his career, or the Giants trade him next season, whatever, it'll still be a Giants jersey that says Tony on the back, and most of my friends do call me Tony, so it's just perfect for me anyway. So I definitely got to get a Kadarius Toney jersey. I'm gonna try and get the Color Rush one, but I'm not seeing any on the NFL shop, so hopefully I can snag a Color Rush Tony.
It'll get there. I mean, maybe you can make one. I don't know if you can make the Color Rush ones just yet and put your own name on it. So definitely an option. But let's see what else. Malik, Nate Solder, and Rudolph are the worst veterans on that roster. I don't get why they're blocking the spots for the younger guys. I mean, if you want to take it from Dave Gettleman himself, he literally said verbatim, it's time that we play the young guys and then we start Nate Solder instead. So figure that out. I don't know. The logic, once again, out the window. Who cares? Let's go Big Blue from the UK. How you doing, my friend? You know, I guess it's pretty late over there now, but enjoy this game today. We're going to be up late. We're going to be covering the game as always. Joshua Aravalo, Perch should be starting. Agree with you, my friend. Don't those evil vibes out, Anthony. Yeah, Phil, I feel you. Anthony, always so evil, those little negative comments, bro. Keep them to yourself. We want positivity here today.
To be fair, I am the more negative of the two hosts on this podcast, but I really try not to be, man. I try to be positive. I try my best. It's just a little difficult.
Yeah. So, I mean, the starting offensive line in pregame warmups, according to Dan Duggan, Andrew Thomas at left tackle, that's huge, right? So that means he's probably going to start. Matt Skura at left guard, he's actually hasn't been as bad as some people have advertised. He actually, I don't hear his name come up that often, which is pretty deep, which is a good thing for offensive linemen. Billy Price, I mentioned every game, the guy might actually be missing an eyeball. His depth perception is awful. The guy blocks air. I don't understand what he's doing half the time. Will Hernandez, great. Obviously, he's one of our better offensive linemen at this point. He's probably about average anyway. And then Nate Solder, of course, the laundromat exile. And that offensive line right there, man, is it's making my eyes bleed. I mean, the interior right there of Matt Skura and Billy Price and Nate Solder, it's just bleeding in my eyes. Andrew Thomas. And if you guys don't know this statistic, it's a pretty awesome statistic I found this week. When Andrew Thomas is starting at left tackle, Daniel Jones throws for 285 yards through the air per game. When Andrew Thomas is out, he throws for 158. 158. That is a monstrous difference there. Just when Andrew Thomas is on the field, their passing game is twice as good. Straight up twice as good. And that should give you an example of why this offense should be better today. The Giants have 8 games to figure this thing out, right? They have 8 games for Daniel Jones, for Saquon Barkley, for some of these offensive line to really, I guess step up and show us that they can lead this team in the future. And Mike, yeah, I know they have been getting upsettingly gory recently. I'm trying my best, okay? But you know what? I'm coming off 2 back-to-back head colds, so I feel like I'm doing pretty well. And Michael Santiago, love the channel. I love the 30-minute videos, especially on the drive to work, and hope my son loves the theme song. He always gets excited. I love to hear that, my friend. It's really awesome to hear that you guys enjoy the channel, listening to work, the theme song. If you guys want to hear some more renditions of that, definitely cool. We'll try and get some cool stuff. Our guy Danny out there is doing a great job behind the scenes and helping us produce the podcast every day. And yes, price equals turnstile. And, guys, I have a question for you, and Anthony too. When you're thinking about the draft, is Billy Price a guy, maybe they keep him as a depth piece next year, but are you looking at Tyler Linderbaum as a potential option in the top 10? Are you I don't think about top 10. I think maybe top 15.
I'm going to say pause now because it's going to be a pause at the end of the sentence. When I look at Tyler Linderbaum, I salivate. My mouth waters. He is beautiful, okay? He is a beautiful football prospect. I desperately want him on the New York Giants. And yes, I know it's very early on in the draft to take an offensive lineman. You're talking about top 10 pick, an interior offensive lineman like a center. Probably not the best idea, positional value, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know. I'm always a positional value guy, but honestly, Tyler Linderbaum is kind of like that Quentin Nelson character guy, right? Like Quentin Nelson was an offensive guard. You're not supposed to take offensive guards that early in the draft. Are you going to tell me you shouldn't take Quentin Nelson that early in the draft? That's what I'm saying. You should take Tyler Linderbaum that early in the draft the same way you should take Quentin Nelson that early in the draft. He looks like a freaking monster, dude. He is so fast, so great out in space, getting to the second level, pulling blocks, lead blocking. I mean, he's great. He's nasty in the running game. He looks like a phenomenal prospect that I would love for the Giants to get their hands on, develop him, and build right around Andrew Thomas and the rest of the good young pieces that we have on the offensive line, or whatever pieces we might or might not have. I don't really know if we have any other than Andrew Thomas, but going forward, I know that that's going to be a point of emphasis for the Giants this upcoming offseason, fixing that offensive line. It has to be, no matter who steps in as a new GM, their number one responsibility has to be to fix that offensive line. And what better way to do it than get a elite interior offensive line prospect to put in the middle of that Giants offensive line? It would be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's facts. And AJ, interesting question here. How many touches will Saquon get? Got to take it easy on him first time back since the Cowboys game. That's a good question, right? I think it's going to be a healthy dose of Saquon and Devontae Booker. I'd probably say, Mike, you're probably going to be right. Somewhere in the 10 to 13 range probably is realistic. The Giants have done strange things in the past, though. They've just come out and leaned on him when nobody expected it, right after an injury or after an ankle injury. So I have to say, I think I'm going to say 10 to 13. I think most of his action will be as a receiver. I think that Devontae Booker will play a big part in this game as the kind of early down rusher, third and short rusher. Saquon, maybe some second downs, maybe get him on the fields with Devontae Booker and really use that 2 running back set. I really like that set. They just don't. Jason Garrett is just not smart enough. Freaking ginger snap from the dollar store. I don't understand where they got this guy from. His brain is working like a 1920 Chevy. I don't understand. But I'll tell you what. I think that Saquon is going to be a important part of this game. And Anthony, we've talked about this in the past, right? Saquon Barkley is good for one big reason when he's not touching the ball, and it's to draw attention from linebackers and safeties. When you have a guy like Saquon, Levante David, Devin White, Antoine Winfield, your linebackers, your safeties all have an eye, right? They got to be a little cross-eyed. They got to be able to see Saquon. They got to see Kadarius Toney. There is no way that you put a linebacker on Kadarius Toney and they're gonna stop him. They're gonna have to use their cornerbacks to stop Kadarius Toney, and their cornerbacks are really thin right now. Of course, they don't have Richard Sherman. No, I don't think James Neal's playing. Or James Dean rather. I think they have a couple of guys that are out. They're really relying on like Ross Cockrell and a couple of supplements, and that is really good for the Giants, right? Kenny Golladay. There's no excuse for these receivers to lack separation today, in my opinion, right? No excuse for these receivers to lack separation. Get them the ball. Their corners are not good. They're bad tacklers. Get Kadarius Toney the ball on the bubble screens. Get him the ball on the slants. Get him the ball on the crossing routes. Get Kenny Golladay active early in the game. And if I'm playing, if I'm the coach right now, if I'm Joe Judge, play to win this game. You're coming off the bye week. Your guys are getting healthier. Don't be a puss, okay? Don't be a puss. Go out there, smack them in the mouth, get the ball first, and drive down and freaking stun the shit out of them. Because I want to see them really take this game and show us that they have an offense worth talking about. All of their guys are primarily healthy. Now, Blue Wave, 7-yard curls all day. That's what I expect every week, right? Let's get surprised. Let's surprise them because every team expects that out of us. 7-yard curls, little slant, little quick outs, like nothing special, no downfield oriented routes. Let's take our playbook and get the ball early, script that first drive. The Giants have had wildly, interestingly, a lot of success. Really on the first drive of games, Anthony. When you've seen the Giants get the ball first, they actually have a lot of success driving down the field on their scripted drives. Get the ball, play to win, don't be a puss, and let's freaking go and get a W.
Yeah. To his credit, Jason Garrett does a good job with scripted drives, okay? He does script together some decent drives and put up some points here and there. But 80% of an offensive game plan is unscripted. You basically get 2 drives in an entire game that are scripted. Your first offensive drive of the game and your first offensive drive of the second half. After that, everything off script. You have to adjust. You have to call plays, and you have to make plays happen. You have to look at the situation and call a play that fits the situation, not just go by a set number of plays that you have in a row to run. That's the problem with Jason Garrett, right? Like, he doesn't do well when he's off script, and that's kind of why the Giants get stuck running that super vanilla offense, because on the fly, I just don't think that he's got the intelligence, the football intelligence, to make those decisions on the fly, to call some creative plays on the fly. I think he almost just forgets that he might have some creative plays in his back pocket and just doesn't call them. Like, there are some decent plays in this playbook. There's not a lot of them, but there's some decent plays in this playbook. We've seen some decent route concepts here and there. We've seen some opportunities where the Giants have created some plays downfield, but they just don't do it enough. And I think the main reason why is because if you think about when they make those plays, usually they're on scripted drives. They don't do them off script because I just don't think that Jason Garrett can do that. I just don't think that he has the ability to go without looking at a play sheet and call a play, send it into the huddle, and then have it be a successful and well-executed play. Like, he just doesn't have that in him, unfortunately. And it's been the number one thing holding the Giants back all season long. I mean, other than injuries, it's been the offensive play calling. We all know that. But yeah, you're right, Alex. Going into this game tonight, the Giants are in a really particular position where they're coming off of a bye. They're super healthy right now. They just got healthy. Kenny Galladay's healthy. Kadarius Toney's healthy. Sterling Shepard's out, but you got Saquon coming back. You got Andrew Thomas coming back. Devontae Booker is playing. Evan Engram's healthy, right? You have a lot of offensive weaponry that is healthy. And if you look at the Buccaneers defense, they got a lot of players that are not healthy, banged up, playing through injuries, sitting out in this game. This is perfect for the Giants. Perfect opportunity to say, screw it. Let's go out there. Let's sling the rock. Let's throw the ball deep. Let's just come out firing, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are averaging over 40 points per game at home this season. Think about that, 40. When was the last time the Giants even scored 40 points in a game? And the Buccaneers are averaging 40. That's insanity. So if the Giants want to win this game, well, they're going to have to start throwing the ball downfield. They're going to have to start making some explosive plays. They're going to have to get into some man coverage situations where their receivers will run some good routes and they can create some yardage, big play separation downfield. It's going to be a big game for the Giants tonight. If they can pull out a win, we're right back in the race, but it's going to take a really, really solid offensive performance in order to be able to pull that one out.
Yeah, and looking at the injury report for Tampa right now, so they're getting Gronkowski back, which is definitely huge for Tom Brady. I mean, that's aside from obviously Godwin and Mike Evans, he loves his tight ends. Tom Brady survives off of his tight ends a lot of times. Gronkowski is so freaking good, and he's still that freaking good. If he can play this game fully healthy, it's going to be tough to stop him. Not with Jabril Peppers, without Logan Ryan. It's going to have to be, Julian Love. It's going to have to be Xavier McKinney. It's going to have to be the linebackers stepping up. I would even say, he's just such a big body. Like, who do you really put on him? I guess, what corner could you put on him that would really make sense? I mean, James Bradbury could take him. You need James Bradbury on Mike Evans. You need Dory Jackson on Godwin at times. It's a tough matchup, man. Gronkowski is a tough one to stop. You're going to have to play zone and try to undercut some of those routes. And of course, I think JPP is out for this game, and they also have Vita Vea is officially out with a knee injury, so that's really good for the Giants' running game. But they are getting back Sean Murphy-Bunting, which is one of their best cornerbacks. So I just saw that. It's tough. That's a tough situation for the Giants to have to deal with Sean Murphy-Bunting. He's been out for a while now, so first game back, who knows if he's going to be good or bad? He might just kind of land in the average category. The Giants need to take advantage of that, that his lack of experience this year, lack of action. And Eric, man, if you could cover Gronk, if you got the brass knuckles, you got the lit cigarette, you could hit into his arm like a longest yard style, we could use it right now. Mel's, we'll check you after the game. We'll do of course, instant reaction for you guys. Aaron Robinson, I think we're going to see a little bit more Aaron Robinson. He struggled against the Chiefs pretty considerably, and then against the Raiders, he didn't play much in those games. But I have to say, I like the kid. I like Aaron Robinson. He's a really physical man-marking corner. He just needs time to grow and develop. He just hasn't had enough action yet. He doesn't know the defense on the field yet, especially in live action when things are moving. So he's going to take time, but hopefully he can have a couple of big moments in this game and make some plays. But again, the trick here, before we wrap up, to beating Tom Brady is interior pressure. They need to have big games from Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. Those are the two guys that are going to have to come up and play. The cornerbacks, right? Adoree Jackson, James Bradbury, Dexter Lawrence, and Leonard Williams. Those are the four players that are going to need to show up big time, because not only do they need to stop the run, those big interior guys, but Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, in the history of the league, in stepping up into the pocket and finding opportunities downfield, or finding opportunities on his second go around. So getting that interior pressure, collapsing the pocket, making him rush his throws, and forcing him to roll out, which he does not do. Tom Brady does not roll out very often. You need to make him rush his throws. That's the goal here. Rush the throws, contain them on the edge, come around the back, and that's where they can really hopefully collect some sacks, some QB hits there, and hopefully those cornerbacks can stand up tall and shut down Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Easier said than done, obviously. Azeez Ojulari, I don't think he's going to have a sack in this game. He'll have a couple of pressures, but I think Leonard Williams walks away with 2 sacks. I think Dexter Lawrence gets half a sack, but I don't see the outside linebackers making a big impact in this game, because he's just so good at stepping up. And Tristan Wirfs he's not getting beat inside, right? You're going to have to use a speed rush on him. And if you're using a speed rush on the outside, Tom Brady's going to step up in the pocket. That's where he's going to hit his checkdowns. So he's just so good, man. Tom Brady feels pressure that isn't even there yet. He anticipates it before it even happens. And that's what makes him the best. That's what makes him the best. Hopefully the Giants can have that interior pass rush. They need to, use those guys off the edge. But also, have those linebackers blitz, send Reggie Ragland, send Bernard McKinney, send Tay Crowder, get those guys involved in the pass rush scheme. This is a tough one, man. Logan Ryan, him being out is really bad for us, because he knows Tom Brady. He knows how he thinks. And that's really, really tough now. But yes.
And I'll add on to that real quickly with
go ahead.
With Logan Ryan. Another thing with Logan Ryan, in preparation for this game last week during the interviews with the reporters, he mentioned disguising the defense, and how with Tom Brady, he knows exactly what you're doing, even when you're disguising your defense. So you pretty much have to disguise your defense on every single play so that you can find one or two plays where Tom Brady can't read the disguise. And that's basically how you beat him. And we know Patrick Graham is great at disguising defenses and defensive coverages. However, he's so great at that because he has the personnel to do it. And Logan Ryan is a big part of that. Not having Logan Ryan in the lineup to disguise those coverages is going to be a huge loss for the Giants. It's going to make them a lot more predictable defensively. It's going to make the defense a lot easier for Tom Brady to read. And that's ultimately going to be a major struggle point for the Giants in tonight's game. Losing Logan Ryan, big loss for the Giants defense this week.
Absolutely, my friends. But enjoy this game. We'll have you out with the instant reaction, obviously, after everything. Hopefully we get this dub. I would love to walk away with a win today and really have an awesome victory Tuesday. I love the victory Monday today because we didn't lose yesterday. But let's get a victory Tuesday. Let's go into the rest of this season with a little bit of optimism, win some games, and really let's see Daniel Jones ball out. Even if we lose this game, I want to see Daniel Jones have a really good game. I want to see him use his receivers. I want to see him run the football, and I want to see the offensive line step up. But enjoy the Manning cast. Enjoy the commentation. Hopefully we get some good jokes out of it. But we'll catch you guys after the game, and appreciate all of you tuning into the Fireside Giants live stream. And by the way, my score prediction is 27-24 Giants.
Okay, you're bold for that. I'm going to go with 35-20 Buccaneers. Sorry, guys.
Screw you.